Also, I don't know if people can hear the distant bird. Also, I don't know if people can hear the distant bird. Welcome back. Yep. That is one guilty looking cat. Oh, I forgot! Oh, sorry, I have to type this in.
Hello?
Hello!
How's it going?
Yeah, good. And yourself? You're on the trip back?
Yeah, just started on my way home. It'll take me about a half hour or so.
Oh, good. Alrighty. So, do we want to start, or do people want to just like shoot the shit and kill some time for the next half hour?
Be the same for me.
I was gonna say, if you guys want to start, feel free. I may just chime in from here time to time, but feel free to start.
At least you're being honest about it.
Maybe I should change my picture to Balder instead.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Demanding attention, that's what.
Probably.
Well, up to you guys. I don't really mind either way. I mean, do people know what they want to do in the meantime? Because I know you guys came back to the city to do a bit of research, and then plans got thrown out the window via acts of random kindness. I mean, not random, but...
Alright. Yeah, I was planning that for like 3 weeks.
Over the course of the entire time we weren't doing sessions.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything else to do. Linda's bought stuff. She was too preoccupied to really think about
Plans.
future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, what matters is you were thinking about something.
I don't do that very often.
I know. It's a hard life. I feel you. Because I know there's some people want to do some kind of research originally, but that was up to you guys on what it actually was going to be about. Or it was either that or just waiting for more ears of the city. You guys can gather information yourselves. It just takes 1d4 hours instead of like 28 seconds. Spell efficiency.
Oh, sorry about that. Were we asking me to do Ears of the City?
No, no. It was just the comment that if anyone wants to, they can do their own gather information. It's just nowhere near as quick. Like,
If anybody wants to use Ears of the City, I can cast it and someone else can ask the question.
yeah, that's also an option. I mean, you guys had Nvidia's and Catel's drinking session, and like heart to heart. You can always do that again. Like, some people can try and trade it around. Everyone can have their shot.
Yeah, when is the Lynn and Athos heart to heart?
Yeah.
In a couple weeks.
In a couple of weeks. Campaign 1 end. That's when Athos reveals his backstory. He may or may not be dying at the time, but you know.
The very guilty cat is now purring and very happy on my lap.
Ah, yes.
I'd like to give you a status update. It's very important.
It's very fair. Alright. Anyway, so...
Do you remember what my mom's name is?
No. Oh, do you mean in-game? Or out of game? This is actually an important question now.
I think I remember Grandma's name, but not Mom's name.
I think you intentionally did not name your mother.
I thought I did.
Did you?
What account did I save it under? That's the real question. Why do I have so many Google accounts?
Don't talk to me about Google Google Docs. How many do we have for this campaign? This campaign we have 13 Google Docs specifically.
I don't mean docs, I mean accounts.
Wait.
I create a new email for everything. Is it okay all the astronauts? No.
Wait, so did you actually create an account for your character's mother?
No.
Okay.
I just don't know if it's because I have accounts for each of my cats because I'm weird. I have a throwaway account from when I was like 13 that has a bunch of stuff on it, so I can't get rid of it. I have 2 accounts for my legal name because I'm changing it.
Mm.
And it's not under any of these. What the hell?
You're good at this. I mean, for what's worth, I still use the same random account name that I made up while I was in primary school. Because, you know, back then I was like, oh my god, I'll have an alias. No one will ever know who I am. If I just use a fake name. And then I just kept using it. That email account is still valid. It has lost its spam over the years, unfortunately. At one point, I was at 30,000 unread emails.
Oh my god.
Look.
I'm pretty sure Cass may have just had a panic attack over the phone.
Like literally every time Mike pulls up his email, I'm just like, just clear it out. Like it's not that hard. And so he just lets it build up, and I don't like that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, my Gmail account has far fewer unread emails. Fewer, not none.
I hate having any notifications of any sort. So, like, I'll be at work on the phone and I'll get a text and I'll have to open the text and, like, mark it as read. Otherwise, having that little flashing blue light will drive me crazy.
Yeah, I don't have anything like that.
Just immediately. There, I found her backstory.
Oh, you did.
In the depths of. And she does have a name.
Okay.
I don't remember what it means. It probably means something bitchy.
That sounds about right. Alright, let's... So is this for, like, brain sorting out things, or do you want me to also be reading through this? Okay. Just checking. Oh, yeah, there it is. I'm sure it does mean something. But what? Which language is it relevant to?
Well, I looked it up on Behind the Name, which is what I use as a reference for everything. I couldn't find it on there, which means that I found some other name and then made my own version of it, and now I don't remember what the original name was, but...
Yeah. Not a hint / not really a hint thing for like almost all of the deities and draconic stuff. That's all based on Latin names. Normally I play around with them just a little bit or mix two together to create something that's representative of whatever it is. Because screw finding actual names, just picking them up on the fly. That's like effort or something. I just say that, but I spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out a goddamn name for something. Oh god. I have been making sure that everything for the Hob Empire, or the Glorious Empire of Infernus, is actually ready, because that's the campaign the Empire decided to go with. And so, we get to see Nvidia's homeland in that campaign. You know, it's a great time. Nothing bad will ever happen there, and no one will ever be themselves.
I'm not allowed to destroy it until Nvidia gets there.
No, okay.
In case anybody's wondering what Nvidia's sole purpose in life is, nobody's allowed to raise that country to the ground until Nvidia's there.
Yeah, it gets to watch it burn, / do the burning. I mean, for what it's worth, it's like 50% destroyed already, but that's because of the inhabitants. Alright, I'll close my email because I don't need to look at that. There's only 1,500 unread emails in Yahoo now. I still don't use that email, like, ever. It just happens to be what some older things are signed up to. But, they want to play, what was it? Is it Dragon Quest? No, it was Adventure Quest and... Was it Dragon Fable? Those were like the web browser flash games I played back many years ago. And one of the things you could do for the premium coins was watch ads and sign up to all of that shit. So that way, I would just go ahead and I would put in my details for a bunch of things to get the free coins, and just use that email. And it just got spammed to hell and back with all of the random bullshit.
But it was worth it, right?
It was worth it. I after like 10 of those, you could buy like the cheapest item in the store. Which is still better than basically anything you could have at your that was level appropriate. Good times. Those games were not balanced at all, and they were not free. They were free to play. They were not free.
The old-fashioned free to play.
Exactly. Freemium is the best way to be, right? Oh god, that game came out in 2006. And apparently it's still being updated as of at least February 2021. I wonder who's playing that game anymore, honestly.
I mean, do you remember Adventure Quest?
That's what I was saying. That was the one that, other one that I did it for.
Yeah, that's the OG.
Yeah. Dragon Fable was like their second game.
I learned my lesson from RuneScape.
Ah, yes. Oh, God. once again playing RuneScape old school back in the day. I think I stopped like around when dungeoneering came out as a skill. Which I actually enjoyed the dungeoneering stuff. It was basically just random dungeons that you would go through with other people and then be sad as soon as you saw any premium member only skill or things that required a woodcutting of like 80. But if you want to do an MMO that requires endless grinding, boy oh boy, was that the one for you. That's actually where the name Hypocrite came from too. I don't know why I chose that. That was just the first thing that I ever did. Just there. I think it's also the same time I started using the main password that I use. Oh god. Nostalgia. I don't need this. Not right now.
I have a question.
Shoot.
So I've picked up on like a more, let's see, Asian naming type in where are we right now?
And Visalia, yeah.
And Visalia. So what is the other general, like loosely based naming system in some of the other countries? Like, do you have a system like that, or is it just kind of like whatever you're feeling like, that's what you throw out?
It depends on the race and the country, typically. Some will just have different systems for it. And Visalia, as well as the other countries in the Western region, are all Eastern-based names, weirdly enough, but whatever. Helveski is the exception, because Helveski is basically colonial Britain, in a sense. That they have different names to most of the surrounding region. Bagnasia was closer to, I think it was Chinese names, and Findo was Japanese because they lean heavily into more of a samurai kind of aspect. Haftinjit was basically just around halflings and their naming system, as well as some of the island countries. Utadra follows Anvisalia because they were the same country in the past, but slightly some other random things. Yeah. Ufalme was Swahili as its base.
Oh.
Yeah, they're it's middle of the continent. A lot of it's savanna, so it's sort of like Africa for a lot of its naming system. Felsaft is down to Fae being Fae. Bajordalia is based around, I think it was German? Yeah, I think it was German for Bajordalia. That's why it's got some weird names. It's got a lot of Slavic stuff over there. Including random... I still love it, fucking... This gets me whenever I look at it. Hold on. We have two important country names... two important, like, town names right next to each other. Not actually important towns, but... We have... Neon Gun 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 and Fish. Just the variance in the naming scheme, like for the auto generation on some of it. Yeah, it's just strange. Pranay was a mix of, I believe it was Russian. Yeah, something like that. I have to look that one up because I don't remember what it is exactly. Umbrus was a fantasy. It's like not elf, but drow, dark elf language, that kind of thing. Simdor is elves. What was Darkesser? Darkesser, I think, was... Ooh. Ah, God. I gotta remember my own systems, dang it. Oh, that's right. I was using dwarven names for there because it was like harsher language. Yeah. Infernus is goblin naming scheme, which is painfully chaotic in for the most part, but also very short. And we have Spanish orcs. Don't ask me why.
Oh, goodness.
I don't want to have to do a Spanish accent for like gruff orcs because that'll not go well. I don't. That's just gonna sound so bizarre, and I don't know how to feel about it.
Can you roll your R's at least?
To a point. I don't know how I'm gonna do it in a deep voice though. It's gonna be a struggle. That's what matters. Yeah, where is it? Oh yeah, Kibaluk and LGR use Draconic as their base, and Nidiel uses where is it? French. That's right. Because the birds had to be French.
Right.
Yes, that they are fancy birds. Therefore, they get the fancy language. I'm gonna have to practice my phlegm spitting sounds, but maybe that should just be omitted from the language in general. So yes, everything has a name base. I will try and use it, but also I will throw it out the window when I feel it. Yeah, individual races will also have something for their naming scheme. I need to put down what that is and why it's there, because most people won't know what they've got to bloody name their character if I don't. But honestly, it doesn't matter. Like, there's a scheme to it, but that's just so I can generate names way easier. So yeah, that's that. I hope that answered your question with enough rambling to kill time. That's good. And now you know that you need to work on your British accent.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah, don't worry. I don't expect you to. I'm not gonna do it. I mean, I have the right lingo, but not the right voice for it. But we'll see.
I've definitely imagined Cattell having a very posh British accent, so that fits very well.
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna eat some food real quick. You guys can chat, whatever. Go ahead. Oh god, Color. You just dumped a whole fucking page of text on me.
That's a personal problem.
Yeah. Sounds like a you problem.
Did you just get a lore dump as the DM?
Yes.
Funny how that sometimes usually happens the other way around.
Yeah, normally. I mean, I do enough of a lore dump just at character creation. You guys don't need to deal with that in campaign. At least not reading. Oh wait, there was that book. Have I done any other time? I think it was just the one book so far.
That we've received? I think so.
Yeah. Like, some NPCs have talked to you about stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's just the one book. And that wasn't too long anyway.
No, it wasn't too bad. We just force information out of things.
Exactly.
Which counts as a lore dump, I suppose.
Kinda. Like, it works. Alrighty. I'm finished food. Now I can also begin reading through whatever the fuck this is. I believe. Don't be. Brain things. Hi, it's gonna be
Should we start submitting?
Oh, sorry.
I was just saying, should we start submitting the backstories for all of the side characters and NPCs that we know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like, couple 45-page doc.
Don't fight me. Hold on. I'll whip this goddamn thing out again. I've used it before. I think I mentioned that in the past there was a DM that was like, so you guys, I want a backstory. You guys get bonuses depending on the backstory. It can be as long or as however you want it done. If it's Old Man Jefferson, you get stabbed and have to remake the character though. Now, where the fuck is it? Oh yes, here. Alright, hold on. Alright, there we go. I never completed this backstory. I ran out of time. It ended at 76 pages, 31,000 words long.
Why?
Oh, look, man, I won the best bonuses I could. This was like min-maxing. This was for a single character.
Okay, I'm gonna sit and read through all of this real quick.
Why? Don't. This was.
So much about my parents.
It was a short story style, you know? Oh god. That was it was a fucking thing. You ever write a literal novel for... Oh, sorry, it's only a novella. You ever write a literal novella for your character? And they're not finished?
Yes. Actually, yes.
Oh, nice. Hey, this was never edited,
How
by
many
the way.
pages is Adelisa's story?
I'm approaching 100.
Nice. Now I'm just curious. Need to go all the way to the bottom. Is that it? Alright. This story was written between the end of August and the end of October, like mid-October. So it's like a month and a half of work on this one thing.
Jesus, how do you work so fast?
I don't have a life.
Oh god.
The sad truth. Not being employed helps, you know. Like, you guys have. Oh, I assume Mike's home.
Out the window.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just as an example, so in this campaign, you guys do not have all the information for every race and all of the stuff for the gods. Oh wow, those are remarkably close. Huh. So the gods document, the divine stuff, is 51 pages and 21,000 words long. And the nation's document is 50 pages, 25,000 words long. Those are the two biggest documents so far. So, and literally just 100 pages of information, most of which will not come up.
Like, with all that information, you could just straight write a book, publish it, and then turn it into cash, you know?
Yeah, in theory. Instead, we do D&D with it because D&D is more fun. Yeah, that's why it's like for my campaign writing. It's just like pick a country and we'll make a story out of it. I have the necessary information, and then we do that, and and then it's too intimidating, and then we go back to, all right, here are some campaigns to pick from. No one wants to have their fate in their own hands. That's spooky. Yeah, there is a lot of work that's gone into developing the world more than any individual campaign. But hey, that's how it goes. Oh, alrighty. So, I think Lynn's had some of her brain sorted out. Anyone have any ideas or / remember what they were going to be doing in the city? Good sign, good sign.
Were we doing anything other than Wuxian?
I don't know, man. That was up to whatever you guys were researching.
I think we were gonna go visit the mayor, right?
That's probably one of the things that was planned.
Yeah, because I remember we'd actually done some research already. We were gonna go visit the mayor, because I remember we got the information on the adventurers who had already left that said they had met Wuxian, and then decided not to go after them. And then they left off towards the east, if I'm not incorrect, but that was like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And then we were going to go visit the mayor to take credit for the eastern side evening out. And then we were going to go after Wuxian. And then we woke up and Lynn gave us all sorts of goodies, nice stuff.
I'll say, remember all that.
Oh, good. So, if we're all ready to get started, we can. Make sure everyone's
Sorry
at
for
least.
being late.
You're all good.
Thank you.
You got dinner in hand? Alright, actually, before we do begin, let you start eating and just go to the floor real quick. Alrighty. That'll be enough time spent waiting. So, we begin back in Anafarius following the morning and everyone waking up to their new little gifts. I don't think anyone had any questions about that in the meantime.
I don't believe so. All my questions I asked the other day.
Oh, right. Mathos, it is a first level guiding vellum. That is important information. Oh, Nick, you there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all good. I just know your one kind of dies every here and there. Alrighty. So, you're in the city. What are the plans? Headed to the mayor and anything else?
Do we all want to pitch in and buy Lynn breakfast first? It's not
Sure.
much, but
Alrighty.
Breakfast. Like, do we take her out somewhere fancy?
maybe a good idea.
Is Lynn aware that you're taking her out for breakfast? Or is it a surprise?
I'm pretty sure she's aware.
Okay.
You can make a deep percentile roll for naivety if you want. Self-doubt roll, basically.
Knowing Lynn, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I have a cat
No, you're all good.
I mean, I'm talking about this out loud.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility she would not understand that I was talking about her?
It's possible she could have so much self-doubt that she believes that it's impossible for anyone to do anything nice for her. That's what the deep percentile roll is for.
I'm kind of sad about that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is real sad.
Yeah, it is. Lynn, it's probably a joke. You know?
Usually is.
Usually is.
Pretty abandons memes.
Yeah, exactly.
Or would they do something like buy me breakfast?
Okay, so remember I said maybe we should buy Lynn breakfast? You can forget the first part of that sentence now. Where do we want to take Lynn for breakfast?
Oh, goodness.
Wherever we go, it should be pets allowed, I would think.
Oh yeah, I hope they have I think they have a very forward-thinking pet policy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's pets are very common sights throughout this entire country.
Any pancake lodge?
There is no pancake lodge, unfortunately.
Is there like a very fancy sort of brunch-like place?
Most of the food places are typically going to be your inns in the town, though you do remember there are some nice little, not cafes exactly, but that kind of style of food stores over in the central square.
I think it's a great place to check.
Alright, guys, head off to the central square to have a look around at the place and figure out what you want to eat. Let's see. I haven't used this map in a good while. The very first map you guys were on.
I think by the time I got here, we were like about to leave this map.
Yeah. Yes, the Central Plaza is one of the only places that's cobbled in the entire area. Most cities just dirt roads and the like.
Well, we're looking for a nice breakfast place, maybe brunch. Hopefully they do mimosas.
Everyone in character asks, "What's a mimosa?"
Some people out of character ask what's a mimosa.
Champagne and orange juice. It's a classic brunch sort of drink.
Thank you.
No worries.
It's the alcoholics' start of the day.
I mean, I feel like a Bloody Mary is more of a sign of an alcoholic.
Yeah, but that's
than a
like
mimosa.
actually strong. But you can excuse away having a mimosa.
Right, that's kind of, I think, the point.
Yeah, exactly.
Around here, like, a bunch of girls get together on Sundays and go get, like, mimosas and basically get drunk in the morning and have a party. Like, that's just what we do around here, so...
Woo!
Hey, it sounds like a good time to me. Sounds like my Sundays. Except replace the party with D&D. So, you know, half party? You party up.
Right.
Same difference, yeah. Alright. So... There is a couple little stores around here. The one up to the north, you know, you can tell from here, sells a lot of pies and other meat-based products. Like pies and other pastries with meat in them. And the one down here is a cheesemonger. The one up to just there is the blacksmith, and you guys went to the Slosh Spectator in the bottom right before. It was probably like the fanciest inn you've seen in town. Sorry, tavern, not inn. Tavern you've seen in the town. But I mean, the food there wasn't amazing. And
Okay.
if you want flowers, they also have a bit of fruit in the flower store just there.
All right, Lynn. Well, it's certainly not enough to pay you back for everything that you got for us, which we're very thankful for. But where would you want breakfast? There looks like there's a pastry place, just straight cheese if that's what you're after, and tavern food. Maybe they have a breakfast menu. I'm not sure.
Oh. I'm not particularly hungry, so just wherever you guys want to go, I guess.
Pastries it is.
Alrighty. You guys head up over to the little pastry store. You can smell the scent of fresh bread and baked goods. A Kitsune woman comes up to greet you. Hello, how can I help you this morning?
We're just checking in. Do you have any breakfast pastries or anything like that?
Oh, many of the things here are sold as breakfast items. What kind of food are you interested in?
Nvidia will just look at Lynn. Anything you want.
And we'll just stare back wide-eyed, and they'll look over at Balder and just like anything with high-quality meat.
Oh, we can certainly do that. We get some fine mutton and other chops of the sheep around here. So we will go with one of these. And she grabs... you can tell, it just looks to be a meat pie of some variety. And offers it out. It should be safe for the big cat too.
I was actually about to double check. Can tigers have bread?
Yes.
Okay.
The bread is the pastry is quite thin. It's just there to help effectively work as a bowl for the meat.
Okay. Well, could we get 2 of those, please?
She gets them out and hands them over. They're still slightly warm, not hot to the touch.
Sounds good. We're gonna hand those to Lynn and Balder, I guess. I don't know if I'm gonna hand it to Balder, but I'll give it to Balder somehow.
You place it on the floor beneath Boulder. He accepts this offering.
Then we'll also give Balder an offering. And look very embarrassed in the process.
Boulder now has 2 pies in front of him.
He is a very happy boy.
He is a very happy boy. He begins immediately eating one of the pies.
Well, that's good. Is there anything that you want, though, Lynn?
Oh, not hungry, but thank you.
I mean, if you want, you could... hold on a second.
I didn't even think about that, and it's actually a really good point. What? I'm just gonna do it openly.
No, go ahead. You look at Lynn. You think you hear a very faint stomach grumble.
Lynn, if you were going to choose a pastry for Cattell, what would you recommend? Cattell's never had any of these pastries before, so definitely could use your advice in choosing a pastry.
there you go. This is legit.
I'm just going to look over at Cattell and kind of assess her and think, you know, she is probably too high class to eat somewhere as shitty as this. I don't think so shitty, but, you know.
No, you'd actually be surprised for as, you know, hoity-toity as Cattell can be, she actually has a large appreciation for food like this, you know?
Lynn is not saying this out loud.
Okay.
These are thoughts that I'm speaking out loud to convey the expression on her face. And then finally, eventually say something delicate and fruity might be appealing.
As Lynn is looking at the pastries, I want to check to see what her eyes like light up on the most. Would that be perception?
Yeah, sure.
What sort of fruit would be common from my hometown that I wouldn't really get access to here?
From your homeland, well, nothing you can realistically get access to, unfortunately. They may have some imports, but it's all going to be dried fruit, as traveling at literally months of months of travel away is not going to be easy. However, there probably are some things that you could find. One thing that's particularly popular in your homeland and throughout a lot of the central countries is coffee, which is a difficult export to actually get. But you're pretty sure you can see a few things that say they're coffee flavored. It's something nostalgic. Maybe not your favorite, but something you can remember.
Oh yeah, probably coffee then.
Oh, I've actually heard of coffee. I'm sorry, could we also get one of the I forget the bitter bean teas? The brown ones. Do you know what I'm...
Oh, yes, of course. We also have that flavor in some of our pastries if you'd like to try one.
Absolutely. Could I get the bitter bean tea juice and could I get the bitter bean tea pastry?
Of course. Here we are. I should go through. Grab some. She pulls out a pair of pastries which look like they're swirling around on themselves. They have some kind of fine dust over them. Len, you can recognize these are... They smell the same as coffee. At least that's what the dust smells like. And then give me a moment and I'll go fetch your bitter bean juice.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Alrighty.
How much is this costing me, by the way?
You'll get there. How many coffees are you getting, by the way?
You know what? Does anybody else want a bitter bean juice?
I'll stick with tea.
Athos, do you want a bitter bean juice?
Of course.
Sounds good. We'll get 3 bitter bean juices along with the bitter bean pastry.
Oh. Alrighty. Alrighty. She comes back out and after a moment hands you all some coffee and Cattell some tea. Please do enjoy and we hope to see you again. That'll be 1 gold in total.
Alright. I will give her a gold and 2 silver pieces as a tip.
She nods and thanks you.
Okay. And then I say, here's your pastry, Cattell, and then I'll hand it to Lynn.
Lynn is just gonna kind of like gawk a little bit.
Nvidia's already walked out the door.
Nvidia has left. There is now a bit of bean pastry in your hand. As you start to walk away, you see Lynn reaching out towards your pocket, holding a gold coin. Looks like she's trying to sneakily put some money back into your pocket.
Let me check something real quick. I'm not very good at that. I will dodge out of the way, I guess.
You just take an extra step forward and leave.
In as nonchalantly as possible.
Yeah. You look like you almost stumble for just half a second, and then the coin remains in your hand.
They're just gonna kind of hang back and look super dejected and not really know what to do with herself.
That wasn't what I was going for, I'm sorry.
He really doesn't know how to respond to kindness, so...
Okay, so this is a lesson. Fantastic. Tough love.
Tough love.
Take your pastry.
Tough love accepts my kindness. Ha! Oh, goodness.
Okay, Nvidia has not had coffee before, but she is enjoying this.
It is very bitter. It definitely shocks you awake just from the flavor.
Oh, wow.
Never having had this kind of thing before, it's quite different. Definitely a very different flavor to tea.
I mean, I still like tea, but this is like a good sort of wake-up drink, you know?
I think Lynn actually bought NVIDIA coffee right at the beginning of the campaign.
Yeah. I do
Actually,
believe
right.
so.
That actually is true. This is the second time she's had coffee.
Yeah. Still definitely a strong
I
wake
only
up in the
remember
morning.
that because, yeah.
Because it was something from your home and it was something else exotic that's getting sold here.
Right, and now the first time I was like, oh, Nvidia's never had coffee before.
Yeah.
I don't think I wrote that in my notes, but now it's going in there.
It's going in there. I've drunk coffee twice.
Okay. Well, I think now it's time to go to the mayor's place. Yeah?
That depends. Is Lynn going to make it out of the store at any point in time?
Oh, that's a good point.
I'm gonna slowly trail after them eventually.
Yeah. Everybody else has their drinks, and it's quite pleasant. Volda has finished eating the second pie by now and is looking up at you expectantly.
Coffee's not good for kitties, honey. I'm sorry.
He looks down and starts licking the floor where the pie once was.
Aw.
Alright. Everybody heads off towards the mayor's place. The usual procedure comes about. They ask you to disarm and hand over your weapons. I assume everyone follows through as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Alrighty. The guards take you in, and you follow the usual sights. They tell you to wait outside for a moment, and while you do, nothing seems to be going on. There is, however, something different to usual. A Finland man comes out of the door before you're allowed entry. He looks over at you briefly, but continues on his way.
Do we recognize him?
You're pretty sure not. He seems to have white fur and a white cloak around him. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen too many white-furred Finlands around the place.
White-furred Finland. Okay, time for a vibe check.
He is walking away. Pick one of your vibe checks that you may make.
If he's Finland, I'm at least checking for chaotic evil then.
It's chaos, law, evil, or good. So.
Oh, chaos. Ah, man, I know he's chaos then. So, evil.
You detect a weak aura of evil.
Copy that.
He continues on his way, collects some weapons from the guards, and moves along.
And he was, I know he had white fur, but a white cloak too?
He had a white cloak as well. The hood was down, but, yes. Unsure if that's supposed to mean anything, but that's just who you saw.
Did we get a look at his face, or was the hood too far down?
Oh no, the hood was down, so you could see his face briefly.
My bad.
Yeah, you're all good. Yes, you did get a brief look at his face. Anyone who wants to can roll me perception.
There's not been high rolls to start the day off.
That is fine.
Yeah, everybody else got me.
Exactly. Alright. Lynn, you are the only other person who seems to recognize this. He has what looks to be some damage over his right eye. It looks like a vague scar of some variety. You're pretty sure you've seen someone that looked slightly like that before, but who you can't recall. You're pretty sure it was while you were in Anafarius, though. Anyway, you are allowed entry into the mayor's room. The mayor greets you as you enter. Once again, Surecha is standing just in front of his desk. Greetings. And what brings you back this time?
Envy was British. Greetings once again, Mayor. I don't remember which voice I was using for... I'm going to eventually have a book.
Eventually.
Right. Greetings once again. We just wanted to report in on some of our activities as the usual.
Very good, very good. What do you have to report then?
As our last conversation, we did go out to the east and met the ogre pickin out there, and were able to help them, or really kill two birds with one stone. Using their help, we were able to take care of the ogres that were plaguing the area, and also convinced their own bandit group to move on as well, so there no longer will be a bandit presence in that area.
I see then. That is quite good. Well, did they happen to give you any information on what will be happening to them after this? Well, I assume you did not kill them.
No, they have many uses as a anti-ogre sort of, I don't know if repellent is the right word, but action force, I guess. They were moving on to an area where they had heard there may be some more ogres attacking the land, a little bit farther away. They also made agreements to no longer prey on carts and merchant caravans and the like.
Very good then. That is quite interesting. Well,
That should be good, not interesting. Can I get a sense motive?
yeah, go ahead. Something's definitely up here. You could tell the way he's speaking. There's some form of disappointment in his voice. I will ensure that you are fairly compensated for your actions. Now, I will ask, do you have any more word upon Wuxian?
We do have a plan in order to get in contact with her and then move against her when the time is right.
Very well. I would like to be privy to such a plan if possible.
So give me a second.
Yeah, good.
I may have thought about telling the truth to him before, but not anymore. Okay. Does he have a map out on his table desk area?
He can pull one out. He's brought the map before.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind bringing a map out, I can go ahead and give you a quick dissertation on the plan.
Yep. He grabs out a map and spreads it out. Yes. Now, where is this all going to take place then?
According to our sources in the area, we have heard that Wuxian and some of her supporters are taking secret shipments in the night off to the eastern side of Anatharius. And I'm going to point to an area right over here.
Yep.
But just double check, this is the spot that we actually know about,
that's
right?
the spot you actually know about, yeah.
Just making sure I'm not accidentally pointing them in the spot that we're going to. They have, at least according to some of our the insiders and people that we have, and I'm going to give him a bit of a wink, interrogated. There is a group of them that takes shipments from there directly to Wuxian herself.
Quite interesting. Well,
Do you want me to roll bluff on that, or is he?
oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I'm just saying, if he's just a guy that believes people, that's great.
Oh goodness, no.
Oh no, that's okay. I have blessed infiltration. I'm gonna re-roll that if possible.
All right, go ahead.
There we go.
That's much better. When you guys lie, it's down to you if you want to be rolling the bluff checks. Otherwise, people may or may not sense motive you, depending. If there's no approach. Yeah, so
if they sense motive us, would you just ask us to bluff, or we always assume that if we don't say bluff, they're gonna be able to see through our lies?
If you don't roll bluff, they'll be able to see through your lies. But some people are more naturally trusting than others.
Okay. Copy that.
Sometimes.
Please remind me to say that, because I will forget.
I gotta remember to spam bluff whenever possible.
My character's good at it, but I forget sometimes.
Yep. Anyway, he nods. Well, if you require support, I will ensure that we have some of the militia on standby in that area.
Absolutely, and I appreciate the support that you can give us. However, for this particular case, at least to start off with, we'd rather go in with a smaller group so as to arouse little suspicion.
Oh,
we
no,
don't
of
necessarily
course.
know where the actual placement of Wuxian's camp is, but we know that we'll be able to get in contact with her should we do go about this the right way. As soon as we do, we'll make sure to reach out to you so that you're able to send us some extra support and you can help us bring in Wuxian.
Sounds like a fine idea. But worry not, I will not interfere before the time is needed. It's easy to spot an army, less so a few rogue individuals. That is why I called upon this bounty in the first place.
Of course. Is there anything else you need from us then, Mayor?
Not for the time being, but before you head out, I will ensure once again that you are compensated appropriately. He pulls out a small bag of gold coins and puts it on the table.
Of course, your patronage is, as always, appreciated.
I wish you the best of luck in your endeavors hunting down Wuxian.
You really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's genuine about that.
Yeah. He's got his finger in a couple different pies, but he does want Wuxian back.
Yeah, plus you're pretty sure the same thing. If anything here was true, it's definitely that.
Have I vibe checked the mayor before?
You have never vibe checked the mayor.
Can I vibe check the mayor?
As soon as you stop roboting, yeah.
Yeah, we're getting really choppy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it clear now?
No.
You're both choppy.
Yeah, I think it's just your internet messing up at the moment. I'll give you guys just a minute. In the meantime, we'll take a very quick little break. People can run to the toilets, do what they need to do. Yeah, everyone be hydrated. I don't have a hydration bottle. I need a hydration bottle.
Talk, talk. Test.
Testing, testing.
You're smooth now. Yeah.
Sound better? Okay. I think it just was bad for the moment.
Alrighty. Yeah, you guys sound fine now. So I don't know what it was. Oh. And it's bad again.
It's bad again.
Yeah, it's dying again. I don't know what's happening there. Can you hear us fine, or...? Oh, that was color. This might help. Hold on.
Hello. How's it going?
All right, I guess. You kind of dead. Can I?
Okay, now it went from red
you're
to
fine
green
now.
on Discord.
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, mine was dipping a bit too, which is why I jumped out.
Maybe it's a Discord thing where they're just having connection issues. Looking at our internet as a whole, like on the status, it's fine. So
Huh.
just be the Discord struggling.
Maybe. Are you guys considered... what's the general consensus for servers? US Central, East, South, or West?
I don't know what that means.
Oh. Where are you placed in the country?
We'd be west, so Pacific.
Yep. Carly, you're west as well, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Athos, you're where?
Would be West in Canada though.
Yeah, alright. Well, we'll go with US West as our server for the time being and see if that helps out a little bit. Might hit me a bit harder, but you know, that's fine. Alright. In the hopes... Oh, sorry, what was that?
Sounds good.
I think everything is fine now. I hope. Hopefully I'm not too bad.
You're fine so far.
All good. So, the mayor gets vibe checked. And once again, it's lucky that this is a spell-like ability and therefore requires no components. Well, no, it doesn't require no components. Requires no visible activation.
I'm just looking at him awkwardly. Well, I can be doing this while talking, so.
Yeah, exactly. So, what would you like to vibe check first? Law, chaos, good, or evil?
I'm gonna definitely assume law, so let's go evil.
There is a faint aura of evil.
And then just for grins and giggles, let's do law.
Alright. Also, there is a faint aura of law.
Okay.
The only thing that I'm genuinely shocked about is that no one did this sooner.
Well, yeah, there's a whole group of people that I never did this to, even though I had the opportunity to.
Yeah. Well, I hope this is some supernatural information that people will consider.
I mean, I think even without me doing this, we're all a little suspicious of the mayor.
Never trusted him. Like, I think the way that she introduced herself to the party was basically like, I don't really trust this guy. You guys want to check out Wuxian and see if she's okay?
Yeah, I do think day one that we were already like, well, maybe Wuxian's not that bad. We'll find out, but I mean, we already kind of knew something was up with the mayor.
You haven't even met Wuxian yet.
Right, which is why, you know, TBD for Wuxian, but...
They both turn out to be evil.
Yeah, there is
That's
no
the
good guys.
conversation I'm willing to have once we are not in the presence of the mayor. By the way, do we know about the relationship between Athos and the, what's her face?
Suresha? Good question. Let's down to Athos.
I think one of you followed me.
Oh, yeah, Lynn knows that something happened.
Has Lynn informed us about that?
No.
I didn't think so. Okay.
I mean, if they've just boned, then whatever. It's not a big deal. Probably.
Okay. Well, Nvidia's gonna take that money that he just threw on the table.
Yep. Inside is 1,000 gold coins. Half of it is in platinum. So we have about 50 platinum pieces and 500 gold.
I'm going to pass the pouch of coins over to Athos.
All right. Everyone
Finally,
should get 10 platinum and 100 gold then.
sounds good. I'm actually gonna add that before. Yeah.
And you're about to say in video?
Yeah, so final question before we leave to execute our plan. The Philinid gentleman who left before we got here. He seems familiar to me. I may have met him before. Did you happen to have his name?
I'm afraid I cannot give that out. He is an independent agent who would rather remain discreet.
Oh, similar situation as us then?
Indeed.
Okay. And I definitely don't recognize this guy, right? Or the, that Philinid?
You're pretty sure that you don't know.
Alright. Any other questions for the fine mayor? Well, it has been a pleasure, as always, Mayor. And then I'll give him a little, like, half bow. And I don't think I know Suresh's last... Do I know Suresh's last name?
No.
Okay. Then I'm just going to give her a nod and kind of just leave then, because I was going to try to say something, but never mind.
Yeah, all good. She nods back. Thank you for your time and your information then. Good hunting.
We'll return with the head of Wuxian.
I sincerely hope so. Would save this town a great deal of strife.
Indubitably.
Alright, you guys, head on out. Anything you want to do, or just want to collect your weapons and go on your way?
I've done everything I want.
Definitely don't want to have any sort of out loud conversation until we're out of the mayoral residence.
Alrighty. You gather your things and head on out, and welcome to have a conversation in the city, or you can head out if you'd like, or just head to a room back at the inn.
It's still morning, right?
It is still morning. We're about mid-morning now.
Yeah. Instead of going to the room, let's find an abandoned alley or somewhere where we're not going to be overheard.
You do so easily enough.
Okay. Two things then before we head out.
One thing before we head out, before you talk about us heading out.
No worries.
Isn't my ring pretty?
Right. I always forget about how awesome your ring is.
Extra
Goodness.
security.
Yeah, why not? Aren't you glad that was somehow the first thing you guys did?
The amount of shit talking we do in private.
Yeah.
Anyway, as you were.
I appreciate it. Thank you for saving me from a potential problem again. Okay, so two things. One, as you probably guessed from his sketchy appearance and sketchy way of being, that Philinid that left as we got there did have a trace aura of evil. I'm very interested to see what he was doing. Oh, shit. Was he the one working with the ogre pickin'? I don't know if I met him. Well, here's the thing. I think it was pretty clear, I don't know if anybody else caught it, that when we talked about the ogre pickin' being eliminated, or at least moving on, the mayor was not the happiest. So there was definitely a connection with him to them. I'm not sure what it was. I don't know if you also remember, but they were preying on caravans and carts that had been marked in advance in some way, shape, or form. And they had an insider within the city marking those carts or caravans. I'm wondering now if maybe the Felinid who left before us wasn't that person.
I think he might have had a name with like white in it as well.
Yeah, I remember Hifumi brought him up, if I'm not incorrect, right?
Anyone who wants to can roll a raw int check to try and remember.
It ain't great.
Yep.
I'm scared to roll.
Coronas with the perfect bird
Jonas
memory.
Saves us again.
Yes. There was indeed someone called the White Rider. It would seem that Felinid was white all over. The two make sense together.
Well, it's something that we can certainly look at. I mean, I have the opportunity to cast Ears of the City and maybe confirm some of that information. Beyond that, something that I should have done earlier, but it took me until now to actually do, I did detect an aura of lawful evil from the mayor as well. I don't know how much that surprises us, but considering the fact that he was potentially working with the bandits, and we've had some questions about his motivations, it maybe isn't too hard to figure out. As far as what our actions is, I don't know if this changes anything for everybody, but we do need to be open to the possibility that not only is the mayor evil, but if Wuxian is evil simply in another fashion, we may need to be open to the fact that we may either have to choose between two evils or find a way to input something better in its place.
To be honest, I don't mind either way.
I mean, we don't even know what Wuxian's about, so why don't we meet her first?
Oh, right. I don't mean to imply that we would make that assumption about Wuxian. I'm just saying, should we meet her and that is what we find?
I mean, how can we guarantee that we'll be able to find a better replacement? Because somebody may not be evil, technically, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll be a good leader.
That is true.
And who are we to kind of force that? I mean, if we don't really have a good decision between the two to help support ruling the city, then I don't know if we should really get that involved.
Well, let's just make sure that neither of them are going to bring harm to the people first. If Wuxian's assuming a violent uprising, we may have to avoid some of the collateral damage that's going to naturally come of that. We can't just turn a blind eye simply because we don't have a better option than her. Whereas also, if the mayor assumes on a scorched earth policy in order to kill Wuxian, that also is not going to be okay. But with that said, then, in case anybody's wondering, that is why I told the mayor that we are going to go, way off over yonder as opposed to directly south. So, assuming he has spies and/or men or women out in the field, they will hopefully be going to the incorrect place we will be going to the correct one. Although let's keep an eye out for people tailing us, just in case. That's what I would do at the very least.
Perhaps we could head southeast a little bit before turning towards our intended location as well.
That's a good point. And there's a hillock kind of to the southeast that maybe we can do a quick hide or something like that before curving back around, like right around here. Going that way.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Does that sound good to everybody else?
Yep.
Best case scenario, we meet Wuxian and she's everything she's cracked up to be.
Alrighty. Anything else for your alleyway discussions?
I'm good. Anybody else have any secret information they want to bring up?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm good.
Alrighty. Well, as you guys finish up with your ring, what is the plan? Gonna head out of the city today, or are you gonna do some purchasing of anything or whatnot?
Do we need to purchase any more supplies, or are we feeling good with what we have?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I was just checking to see how many charges were left on there.
No worries. And assuming Athos is good too, do we want to leave today with a card?
I'm not saying any reason not to.
I'll ask you a question. Would you like one?
Like a what?
Like a reason to stick around, yeah.
But what does that mean?
That's a good question now, isn't it?
Sure.
Oh my god.
You guys are all just kind of hanging out in the alley at this point. Just doing some last minute discussions before you figure out what the plans are. When someone in a hood comes up to you, looks to be a young Drekon man. There's word that there'll be something going on in the town square later today. Everyone should be there to pay attention to what's going to happen. And then he
Sorry, do I know you?
tell everyone about it. Then he turns around and begins walking away.
You broke up a little bit. What do you say before tell everyone about it?
Oh, he just said tell everyone about it.
He's telling us to tell everyone about it?
Yep.
Hold on. Do we know you?
He continues to walk away.
Sir? Sir? And video's following him.
He's walked out of the alley, gone over, and started to approach somebody else. Sounds like he's repeating the same thing.
Okay. While I'm walking in his general direction, I'm also doing a detect alignment check.
He radiates no aura.
Okay, that's not too bad then.
Is there a way to tell if he's being, like, manipulated into doing this? Like, by a spell? Controlled, I guess would be a better word.
Detect magic or sense motive.
I can do sense motive if somebody wants to detect magic.
Alrighty.
Oh, I can put a description on there. I did. I'm so impressed.
Oh wait, I have noise suppression on. Hold on a second. There we go. The clapping was necessary. Alright. You cast Detect Magic as he's talking to these other people. And you detect there is magic over him. But he's moved on before you have a chance to actually get a proper detection of what it might be.
What do we get with the sense motives?
You're pretty sure if he's acting out of how he would normally, then it's not drastic. If there's some kind of control over him, it's not too powerful.
Okay. Let's have a scoop. Are we gonna follow him then and see what's going on?
Do you think that's a good idea?
Okay then, let's go ahead and follow our guy here and see if we can't figure out what spell or command he's under.
You follow him. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna call out to him and ask him where we were supposed to go because I forgot already.
The Central Plaza. Later today. Be there.
Okay. Wait, I'm gonna just ask a bunch of questions about how to get to the Central Plaza. Just long enough for Cattell and Lynn to maybe figure out what magic he's using.
Alright. Alrighty. Can anyone who's using Detect Magic give me a spellcraft roll? One thing you can detect by default is that he is under enchantment magic.
Actually bode well on that.
It's a miracle.
We're having a +0? Yes, it is.
It really is. Oh, you have a +0?
Yeah.
Spellcraft's trained only.
Oh.
That's a nice 10 you got there, buddy. Why do you do this to me? We were this close to greatness.
Can Cattell do it?
I don't.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, with Detect Magic, you still can tell that he's under some kind of enchantment spell.
I have a scroll of dispel magic if that's of any use.
I feel like we may want to hold on to that one.
That's up to you. You do know he's under some kind of magic. But, I mean, from what you've seen from him, it doesn't seem to be particularly malicious. Unless leading people to the middle, into the center of town is malicious. But who knows?
It could be.
Alright. So you guys follow him around, and he gives you, like, details on how to get to the middle of Anafari's Plaza.
Okay. After, assuming he's going to leave after that to go ahead and tell more people to go to the plaza.
He does indeed.
Fantastic. Okay. Sketchy. Is this a trap, do we think?
I think so.
Could be Wuxian making an announcement. expressing how far her power is by making it into the city center.
I definitely think that we should go, but I don't know if all of us should go.
It could be a matter of if we go sticking towards the outskirts, keeping an eye on the various exits, just in case. Maybe one of us can be on a rooftop or something like that, so have a bird's eye view of everything.
Alrighty. So what is the plan then?
Cattell or Lynn, one of you maybe want to go to the rooftop so that you can have a bird's eye view and give us a warning if something happens. That way you're out of harm's way, but then also with your crossbow or bow, you're able to still attack.
Okay, I can do this.
Okay. Then, in that case, Cattell, do you want to hang back towards like the main exit theoretically should a stampede or something happen, so you can kind of keep an eye to see if anybody is trying to block egress?
Sure.
And then Athos, you and I could flank the sides of whatever is going on to see if we can't see people moving in the crowd itself. If you're back, if not, never mind.
Oh yeah, I have no idea if Nick's back or not.
This is BRB, so
yeah, I'm sorry, I totally forgot about that.
Okay. Okay, that sounds like a plan to me. Athos, I appreciate your input.
Whenever you get back.
What do we want to use as signals? Flaming arrow is a pretty common one if shit's about to hit the fan.
I feel like that's really obvious, though. I know that I have Balder, and if I'm in distress, Balder will be distressed, so it'll be pretty obvious.
And by distress, if you see obvious bad things happening, would that count as distress, even if you're not necessarily threatened?
Yes, we have enough of a link that he can kind of feel what I'm feeling, so if I channel enough energy, he'll get the point.
Sounds good. Balder, do you want to be with Athos or myself? Actually,
Balder
you know
will give NVIDIA a big lick.
Yeah.
sounds like a plan. I was actually just about to say Athos has Coronas, so Coronas can also give a bird's eye view as necessary. Literal bird's eye view.
Yeah, literal bird's eye view.
And then Cattell, what would be your warning if you see someone coming in from the back or trying to close off exit?
I don't know if I have a lot.
Do you have any extracts or potions that make loud noises?
Not particularly.
Do you have a thunderstone?
I do? Where the heck is that?
I said, do you? Not you do.
Oh.
That is a rock that makes big sounds. I mean, if you guys want to. It seems like you have time. It's going to be like... It seems like this man was indicating in the afternoon.
Okay, well, we're gonna maybe leave a day late, but that's okay. Just in case if something does go down to town.
How much is a thunderstone?
A bit of gold. It is now a chemical thing, so if you want to, you could make it in your own time.
How long would that take?
With the power of your speedy alchemy, not too long.
I'll try that.
Alright, let me just double check.
maybe you can make a couple and we all have one?
With the amount of time, they cost 30 gold, so probably not.
Okay, worth a
Wait,
shot.
do you have master? Do you have the master alchemist feat? I don't remember. I don't think you do.
No.
That's all good. I was thinking of somebody else doing something different. Don't worry. Alright, so just for reference, this is a thunderstone, so you can read up on what it does. It basically just a rock that explodes into sound.
Goodness.
Don't punch it. It might, detonate on you. You don't want that. You get the sound half of a flashbang. That's what you need. But yeah, those are like a relatively common alchemical item. So you can make one yourself, or you could attempt to buy it from one of the alchemist in town.
Tell likes the challenge, so she's gonna attempt it herself.
Alrighty, we believe in your speed. It will be a craft alchemy check. And that is the exact DC. Oh boy.
Dang.
Alright. You will be able to get it done in time, but you won't be able to be doing anything else while the rest of the party sets up and the like.
Okay. Let me... Only works on one creature. Never mind. We'll save that for later.
Alrighty. So, assuming everyone sticks around for it, I'll toss you all onto the plaza map, and you can figure out.
We have enough time. I am going to disguise myself.
Oh yeah, you got
completely this time.
hours. This is just so you can set up where you think you'd like to be positioned on the map in general.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Are we pretty sure this is going to be the center of whatever's going on?
That's normally where speeches take place. Yes.
Okay. So this is the avenue on one side. What's on this side?
Oh, it's all just kept as a nice, wide open area. That's all. I just have the various stores around the place on the other sections of it. Off to the west, sorry, northwest is the entrance to the city / that gate. Down the sides are all back alleys, except for this path down here and this one over here, which lead into the one down to the south leads to a thinner road, while the one to the east is a continuation of the main road running through the center of the city.
Copy. Alrighty, where do we want to set up? I mean, Athos and I can be over here. Like, relatively close to the action, but on, like, opposite sides. And then Coronas can be up in the air, keeping an eye on everything. Lynn, are you thinking this roof? or the roof on the south side?
I was thinking right down here where I put myself.
Copy. See you now. And then Cattell, where were you thinking? The wide avenue or the slightly narrower one?
I guess the narrower one? I don't know.
Copy that. It's
Oh,
wherever you think there may be like problems coming from, just so you can keep a lookout, sort of thing.
I guess the one to the south.
Okay. Got it.
Alrighty. So, question for you, Lynn. How are you getting up on top of the roof?
What are my options?
That's a good question. How do you want to try and get up on top of the roof? You could climb, you could get up to the top of a tower, jump off, and then leap across rooftops. Could buy a ladder. A ladder's an option.
I'm gonna take a plane and then skydive down.
Yeah, exactly.
A ladder would be preferable if there's one available.
You can probably find a ladder somewhere around town. Just borrow it temporarily.
I can cast fly, but these other options sound more entertaining.
Yeah. All right, just so you can be caught up on the Sapphires, how much have you heard?
Most of it.
Okay, all good. Just checking. Alrighty. So, are you fine with the plan as it currently stands?
Sure.
Cool. So, is there anything people want to do in the meantime? And yes, you can make a disguise and whatnot.
I don't have to make a disguise anymore.
Well, true. You have a hat just for this.
I have a hat and I have garments as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because the hat is just my appearance. It doesn't necessarily do my clothing, right?
Oh, I believe it can with disguise self.
Oh,
But this way you can have the clothing be real rather than just
yeah,
fake.
because that would break the illusion theoretically.
If someone tries to tug on a sleeve that isn't there, they got to save against it.
Right.
Or they
okay,
can
well,
see through the figure, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I'm disguising myself as a young feloned woman. With like standard workers' clothes.
Okay.
You know, like not, a beggar, but definitely somebody more on the poorer side of things. I do it in a way that Baldur can see me though, so like Baldur understands.
Yeah.
I will smell you.
Okay, fantastic. Just making sure.
You have the same scent.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Stinky girl, come on.
You're right. I'm sorry.
You got to get these things correct.
Lan will just put on her battle mask and try to be a little sneaky.
As sneaky as someone sitting on top of a roof can be.
I mean, that's pretty sneaky.
It is.
Tiger face.
Yeah.
If I could sit up there with a tiger body and a dragon face. That
Yeah.
would go.
That's inconspicuous. I'm sure everything will be fine. Don't worry about it. Alright. So, anything anybody else wants to do in preparation?
Actually. How long does this last?
I just realized, do I have to make a disguise check at the moment?
Oh, if you're actually just going to do regular disguise. The hat of disguise gives a +10.
Okay. And then can the sleeves of many garments help with that as well?
It does by making it so your clothes are real. Like, it basically just helps if a specific circumstance comes up. Because sometimes people might try and directly... if someone tries to grab onto you, it'll probably come up then, because the clothes will be real rather than just the disguise.
Copy that.
Alrighty, cool.
Bark skin. This is pretty smaller.
Would that last long enough?
10 minutes per level, so if you do it roughly, it's hard to tell when exactly it's going to be happening. In which hour would you like to do this?
Around what time did he say that this was going to happen?
He said later in the afternoon.
That is quite big.
Yes, that's why I'm giving you...
I don't know, probably like 3:30 or 4. Assuming it hasn't happened by then. And if it has happened by then it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna bark skin it.
Oh, good. Alright, so you say about 3:30?
Yeah.
Okay. So, everybody prepares themselves in one way or another. Cattell, you turn up in the mid-afternoon, and everyone, as you guys are getting ready, you can see numerous people flooding into the area. Just common folk moving in and about. A lot of people obviously wondering what on earth is going on right now. No one really seems to be sure what's been going on. Is there anything you want to do as the crowds begin to assemble?
Nvidia's mixing in with the crowd, but like staying kind of towards the outskirts of it, so that theoretically, should something happen, she can make a quick escape.
All good.
Cattell is going to have an extract ready, and then like if it looks like movement or like something is starting to happen, like somebody is about to speak, she's going to take the extract, which is heightened awareness.
Okay then. Alright. Anything else from people?
I don't suppose it's a good time to talk to people about my religious views.
It's an option. There's a big crowd around here right now.
I'm gonna about half us all along, going up there to preach.
Man
Well, I'll
knows what
quietly
needs to
preach
do.
next to the people next to me.
Alright. Would you like to actually make a Diplomacy check or no?
Sure, why not?
Alrighty.
Might it interest you in my god?
They look over at you and start asking, is that what everyone's here about? Is that what this speech is for? A religious sermon?
Probably not, but I can guarantee it'll be more interesting.
Oh. Maybe some other time when there's not going to be big news, but I mean, I guess you could talk while we wait.
I would love to.
Okay then, go ahead.
And he'll drone on and on.
Alright. Alice begins rambling about his religion and how honorable / sanctified deaths are the only right way. You should kill undead, and they're just like passively nod along to a lot of it. Obviously not paying too much attention. Alrighty.
Nvidia's just chatting to people lightly. The persona that she's using is called Huang Su Young. She's just like introducing herself to random people and just, you know, being normal, I guess.
Yeah.
Can you spell that for me?
Colin needs to have detailed notes of all of your characters' names, no matter how relevant they are or how often they come up.
Names are important.
Names are important. Names have power.
Well, now that I have like ways to really change, like get into disguise and stuff, I'm gonna probably cycle through like 7 or so, that depending on the need.
Oh boy. Oh, I look forward to it. So, everyone's just kind of standing around and figuring out whatever's trying to be going on here. Oh wait, what? My Athos starts talking about pizza, thank you. Necessary notes.
And then obviously keeping an eye out for movement in the crowd. People coming out, soldiers maybe blocking off exits, anything that is questionable.
Yeah, you do see some guards are beginning to turn up. Also looking around trying to figure out what's exactly going on, but not calling for like a stop to anything. And then, as everything seems to go about and people are chatting, 2 figures head up each side of the stairs. And we'll start revealing things as we go on. Just making sure everything's on the right layer.
Oh, not her. Okay.
Yes. The person who you talked to when you first came, he doesn't seem to recognize you at all.
Well, I can't imagine. She didn't talk to a gray and white young felony woman.
Exactly. Alright. These two begin...
Kitty friend?
What do you mean? There's no cat there, I don't know what you're on about. Alright.
Did that cat just show up? Because I don't remember it being there before.
It seems to have just shown up now.
Alright, I'm gonna nod towards that cat with Balder, just so Balder can kind of keep an eye on that cat too.
Like, Balder looks at the cat. It is much smaller than himself. Balder has acknowledged the cat.
Lean down to Balder, be like, keep an eye out on that cat for me, please.
Balder licks you.
Balder's going to... Okay, yeah, do that.
I'll take that as an affirmative.
I felt like it was the most appropriate action. Alrighty. Yes, these two figures take the stage. The one on the right looks somewhat strange. Dracons are known for only having a specific set of colours. Can anyone who wants to give me a knowledge local? Nice. Alright. Nvidia and Coronis, you both recognize that blue is not one of the standard colours for a Dracon. They are coloured the same as the Draconol from which they are based, which are black, green, red, white, and yellow in coloration. Though there are some exceptions, such as Hark, who was specifically had title because he was blue in coloration. This individual seems to have blackened skin. Their hands and their feet look papery and thin to the touch. And the one in the center looks remarkably average. A kitsune woman who seems entirely normal, but carries herself with a strong sense of confidence. She... You vibe check? Who are you vibe checking?
I would like to vibe check the Kitsune first, but I want to vibe check both of them as I can.
Alright, well, you can go through the vibes if you would like.
Let's start with evil.
This person does not radiate evil.
Vibe check good?
This person does not radiate good.
Okay, that's fair. And then I'm gonna just do chaos.
They do not radiate chaos.
Oh, how interesting. Lawful?
No. Still nothing.
Oh my gosh, so they radiate like true neutral, both of them?
That is the Kitsune in the middle. The one on the right, the Drakon, you may go through the list again, but the only one you will get is a faint aura of good.
This is already miles better than the mayor and his group, so, you know, let's go.
Alrighty. The Kitsune woman calls to the crowd to quiet themselves. People of Anapharius, I have little time. I am here to tell you that I have come to save you. That your town will be spared of poisoned water and suffering at the hands of bandits.
Oh no.
I am Wuxian Shihuan, and I have come to liberate this city. It is not today that I will be saving you, and I ask that you all hold out hope, and that when the time comes, you keep yourselves safe and stay away from the strife. None of you need to suffer for what has happened to your city, and none of you need to suffer in its retaking. I vow to protect and save each and every one of you, and I truly hope that you will let me do so. Murmurs begin to whisper around the crowd, people speaking up, many people questioning what's going on here. The mayor has certainly told you lies about myself. I am not a corrupter, nor a destroyer. Merely a liberator. The Blessed of Barnhang have sought me out before, and they have never put a stop to my actions. We have worked together in the past because they know my cause is just. I will not ask you to join me and sacrifice yourselves for this city. Any who wish to do so, I will gladly appreciate and respect. But you need not sacrifice everything for my sake. I wish the best for each of you. And you can see some people. The murmuring grows louder, and some begin to shout. You're just here to destroy the city! You just want to remove the mayor because you hate him! He's done something, hasn't he, to you? And another one speaks up. We won't stand for this. You're going to raise our city, destroy businesses, cause endless harm. Another one. The bandits will go and attack our farms the second we do anything. As soon as the military is removed, they'll move in and strike. You can't do this to us. You'll ruin our lives.
Nvidia's gonna awkwardly, actingly awkwardly raise her hand and be like, I heard the bandits are already gone.
Another one, and a person says, I think we heard that too. Some people stopped them. It's like,
I also heard the river is no longer poisoned.
You hear Wuxian call out. I sincerely hope that is correct, that you people will be spared. But these are the actions of a man who is incompetent and has let us fail. He will lead you to destruction sooner or later. And he must be stopped. We cannot rely upon the goodwill of the militia or anybody else to save us. People begin calling out once more. We don't need you or anybody else. We'll manage this on our own. Another one picks up and throws a rock at the woman. Get out of here! We don't need any of this. We don't need you. Get lost! Some of the others begin to do so, and some of the crowd begins to follow suit. People throwing rocks and at the Dracon woman and the Kitsune. Others begin stopping them, holding them back, and soon brawls begin to break out. This map may look empty, but there is a considerable number of people here. Each of them turning to quick bits of brawling.
Oh god, I can't believe Lynn is going to do this. But Lynn is going to cast, what is it? Flaming Sphere.
Alright.
Kind of, way above the people, so it doesn't actually hurt anybody, but kind of in the center, and then just scream, Wuxian, go. Get a run and get out of here sort of way, not in a get the fuck out of here because we hate you sort of way.
Alright. Roll me diplomacy for intent.
I'm pretty sure she meant that in a nice way.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, look at that. That sense motive I got was to check to see if this was she was being honest about being Wuxian earlier.
So something you can remember on a int check. Please roll me it.
She doesn't look like Wuxian, right? Am I crazy for thinking that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Wuxian was black and white.
Yeah.
Wuxian is a disguiser. She changes her appearance a lot.
Yeah, that's what is that what you want me to roll in check for? Because that's why I rolled.
That was you're pretty sure that this is this is supposed to be Wuxian. You do know that she is capable of some kind of disguise.
Yeah. So why? Okay, that's fine. while all of that's going, and then a flaming spear happens out of nowhere. I guess actually I'll wait for to see what happens with that.
Oh yes, the flaming sphere appears. And thanks to your incredible roll calling out what's about to happen, the people manage to move to the side very quickly. Alaro rushes over and starts directing people away, standing relatively close to where the ball falls herself, but seemingly unharmed. Wuxian...
It's supposed to be up in the air above them, so
Oh,
it
yeah.
doesn't hurt them.
It falls down, though.
Distraction.
Yeah.
Oh.
People have...
No base gravity? That's rude.
It is rude, actually, yes. But it does take time because you aimed it high into the air. So no one ends up getting hurt by this. And Wuxian nods. She looks like she looks specifically over at you. My people, my countrymen, stay safe. And then, in a burst of fog, she vanishes. The area is consumed by a fine mist. And in a moment, her and the Drekon woman are gone. The guard begins to move in. Several of them attempting to break up the fights that are going on within the city. Some of these people seem very determined to inflict violence upon one another. The town clearly split. And is there anything people are doing before everything ends?
I will be continuing my religious conversation in a louder voice.
Oh, okay. Atmos begins proselytizing to everyone while they're in the middle of like fist fights, people running away screaming from an ensuing riot/brawl amongst the people.
Lynn is going to bolt.
Alrighty.
She safely gets down from... Can I get down from the roof safely as a tiger?
If you make me an acrobatics check.
Oh god. Please be good to me.
That's pretty
It's
good.
pretty good. You
So
take...
yeah, she's gonna bolt away in tiger form and get out of the city.
Out of the city's name.
Out of the city.
You notice as you were leaving people, there was a pair of guards walking militiamen walking directly to your position upon the roof. But you are out of there before anyone spots you. Cattell, you're standing next to Suresha over in the bottom corner. She just has this kind of wide smile on her face. That was certainly interesting.
Interesting in a good way or a bad way, Suresha?
Good question. Interesting. Plenty of excitement to go on in the city for now. And definitely an indicator of how things are to go. Well, I'm going to go report this all to the mayor. Have a good day.
You too.
Alright. The guard begin breaking up things, though they turn to pulling out saps and knocking a few of the people unconscious. There's at least a dozen or so that just seem to be intent on fighting. And with enough of a presence, the militia manages to put a stop before this turns into anything more violent. But even as it all ends, the city is abuzz. Plenty has happened, and there's plenty more to figure out. And people are restless now. Passion has been lit. And the people are deciding which side they're going to take in this all. The question falls, which side are you going to take?
Well, I think we should get the group back together. And we know where to go next. The only thing we have to do is find Lynn. I saw her jump off the roof, and that's the last I saw of her.
Yeah, Lynn's gone.
I think any of us really saw her leave, so we don't know where she went. Baldur does, though. Baldur, do you think you could find Lynn when we go to meet back up?
There you go.
Okay. Convenient. Alright. In a very loud voice, NVIDIA is going to be like, I want to hear more about the god, in Atlas's general direction.
You catch that over the sounds
Coming.
of, yeah. For reference, no one in these like fights seemed to go anywhere near the two of you. Athal's clad in his full plate literally all the time. And NVIDIA directly next to a tiger.
I mean, the mobs were that bad, I didn't even get a single scratch on me. Okay.
Baldur needed chomp. Because Baldur. I don't think I've ever seen a video move so far so fast.
NVIDIA's the Dex build, she's fast, and she wants to be.
Yeah, you guys are able to move through pretty unscathed, mostly because you're armed. Armed and armored, no one wants to fight you.
I mean, I technically have 2 glaives right now.
Yeah.
Okay. How's, Gatel, how you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. I was just watching on the outskirts.
Athos, having fun?
Too much.
Figured. From the background check that I put in for both of the people up there, both of them radiated neutral to good auras, which is very different than what we got from the mayor. Now, those things can be fooled. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are not, in fact, evil. They may be just, a step ahead, but at the same time, that is a pretty good sign. I think Baldur can lead us to where Lynn ended up running off to. Do we want to meet back up and start headed south?
I suppose. I don't know where else we could go.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go head out the south gate and meet up with our compatriots.
You begin heading towards the south gate. Along the way, it seems like the militia is setting up checkpoints, effectively. No one is out. They're checking through everyone at the gate.
Okay, we have a writ still, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. I'm dropping the disguise, and now I'm just going back to... which one was it? False face, and I am Envy again.
Alright. You guys begin to head out, and the guards do stop you.
Where is the cart?
That is a good
We have to
question.
pick it up from the inn first. It's at the inn.
You can go to the inn and pick that up on your way.
Cool, fantastic. We go to the end, pick up the cart. Woohoo!
Yeah, it seems like they're only stopping people at the exits and entrances of the city.
Cool. Alright.
Alrighty. You guys head towards the exit, and they do stop you with the cart.
Yep.
And they will ask, may we inspect your cart there? We need to make sure no one's trying to smuggle anyone out of the city.
Absolutely. And if you don't mind, could you bring the guard captain over if you don't mind?
I believe he's currently a bit busy talking to, well, the captured.
Fantastic. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're doing your job in such an effective way. In that case, we're in a hurry, and I do need you to inspect the carts, and she's going to pull out the writ from the mayor. You are going to have to pass this information on to both the mayor and to your captain, and then further up to the mayor. Understood?
Yes, of course. Didn't realize someone's so important.
Glad to hear it. What's your name again? I just want you to pass on who is helping us in this moment when we meet back up with the mayor. Oh, this is solved.
Oh. Right. For reference, it is a young Dracon man named Koner.
Spell it for me, I'm sorry.
Konu.
Konu?
Koner.
Okay. I mean, for all you know, there may be a promotion in this for you after all is said and done. The cart is probably covered, but Envy will open it up and flash him some of like the weapons that are in the cart. And under her breath, she's going to be go ahead and let her know. The mayor should already understand that this is Wuxian's final display before she ends up moving into action. Tell her that Envy and her party are already making their move out into where we previously decided to take action against. We'll be arming some of his militia as they come out there, along with some of our other agents that will be joining us there. Understood?
He nods along.
I'll make a bluff check.
Yeah, please do. Alrighty, yeah, he just nods. Alright, I'll remember all that.
Okay. If you need help, I will point it out. Do you have a map available?
He goes ahead and pulls out a short one of the province.
Okay, if the mayor already has this information, but just for your guard captain as well, and I'm going to point out that same spot where the fake place. This is where we're going to be headed in order to meet potentially some members of his own guard along with some of our agents in order to make our final move against Wuxian. Understood?
Yep.
If possible, if possible, tell him to send some of his militia to that location as well.
He continues to nod. I'll make sure to pass this all on then.
Fantastic. Tell him that should we act quickly and decisively, Wuxian will be no more, and he shall be safe, along with all of his... what's the word I want to use? Things. I don't know. I had a word I was going to use, but I lost it.
It's all good. He nods along, and after just doing that quick inspection, he lets you through, and then calls for somebody else to try and take all this off of him.
Well, that was fun. Alright. Baldur, do you think you could lead us to wherever Lynn is?
Big lick.
Alrighty, lead on.
Lynn will just be a little ways outside the gate, just kind of far enough away that she feels safe, but she was able to watch that entire thing through Baldur's eyes and kind of know where you guys are, so she was kind of waiting for you to come out that gate.
Copy.
So she's just kind of been waiting for you, and once you get close, then she'll come greet you, but still in tiger form.
Okay.
She does not lick. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I think it'd be a lot of a different feeling if she was licking people.
Okay. Well, now we have a decision to make, and I'll pass on the same information I passed on to Athos and Cattell to Lynn as well. I still don't know if we have all of the information necessary to make an opinion on if we're for sure joining Wuxian or not, but it's looking a little bit more promising than the mayor.
How insulted is Lynn right now?
What?
I said, how insulted is Lynn right now? Just like, we're not 100% sure on sides, but...
Not necessarily
No,
science.
no,
We
no,
don't
I'm joking,
like the
don't
mayor.
worry.
No, she wouldn't be insulted by that.
No.
She knows that she's not them. She's used to doing things that her party disagrees with.
No comment.
So, if I was properly loud enough, which I believe I was, I know that Suresha was over there with Cattell. If the mayor has put a tail on us, I don't necessarily know why he would, outside of just general paranoia. This is our opportunity to find out if we are in fact being tailed, and potentially give them the slip as well, if that makes sense. Before we, go directly to Wuxian, so we can lose them around those hills like we were talking about earlier.
I don't know if it's a concern, but Suresha knows what Lynn looks like, and if she noticed that Lynn was the one that made a distraction in favor of Wuxian, and she is now reporting to the mayor, I don't know if that's an issue.
Lynn, do you think you were seen?
I do have one question on that, because I deliberately chose the spot because it was between two roofs. So would she have been able to see me from there?
You definitely couldn't see you definitely couldn't see Cattell, and Cattell, you're pretty sure you couldn't see where Lynn was, so it's unlikely Suresha would have been able to spot her there.
Okay. Tiger Lynn will shake her head.
Okay, good.
I would assume Suresha is a little bit more capable than the mayor is, though, so maybe she convinced him as well to put a tail on us. Point is, let's assume that we're going to be followed, go around the hills. My goal is to keep an eye out for anybody tailing us from behind, find some sort of outcropping or cliff within the hills, hide quickly, and then jump anybody who is following us from behind. Does that make sense? Anybody have better ideas?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Let's head to the hills then.
Alrighty. You guys begin making your way outside of the city. It is still busy there. Plenty of hustle and bustle over whatever just happened. And anyone who wants to can give me perception checks to keep an eye out for your tail.
Thanks, Baller.
Alrighty. It seems that leaving in the midst of all the chaos, no one has attempted to follow you for the time being. Well, it's possible they might try and track you if someone does want to. If someone does want to try and follow you, it will be a harder task. there's definitely going to be a lot of people fleeing or doing whatnot around the city after today's action. But for the time being, you feel safe. However, we did leave this until nightfall. So, what is the plan? You guys can march through the night if you'd like.
How long would it take for us to get to these hills over here?
Would you like to try and walk through them or around them? Through them is going to be slightly more dangerous in the case of monsters and the like, as they frequently like to dwell in hills with caves and whatnot. It will also be slow going, but should equate to around the same amount of time.
Let's aim to go around them. How long would it take for us to just get to the start of them to where we could find a good hiding space?
Well, by the same logic, if you go through the hills, you'll find a hiding place pretty easily. Going around, most of the land isn't forested, so it'll be quite hard to find a spot to take refuge.
Copy. And it's nightfall right now. About how far away from the city we are before it's time to think about resting or continuing on?
Well, this all happened around 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and listen, you go. The event itself took about half an hour between the chaos and the movement, getting the cart and everything. So you would have travelled about 4 to 6 miles.
Copy. Do we want to take a rest here then? Or do we want to continue on?
I think we can continue.
This may be the one time where continuing actually may be a good idea. I would recommend then that we go around the hills so as to avoid finding anything that we don't have the capability of taking on. Because let's assume our normal fighting power is much weaker than it will be since we're going to be rather tired.
You guys aren't fatigued or anything just yet, for what it's worth.
Right now, but as we start to go around.
Sure. Alrighty. You head on out. So you guys have done a bit of walking around the city itself today, but nothing too strenuous. You
can mostly ride the horses in the cart, right? To at least keep it so that we're not walking.
Yes. People can go in the cart because you have an ox and 2 horses, if I remember correctly.
That is correct.
Cool. Alright. How long are you going to try and continue on for in the night?
I think we should continue until we find a good hiding space, or at least until dawn, then maybe sleep during the day and move at night.
Anybody else have opinions? Alrighty. So, you continue to move through the night, ensuring that you'll be far away from anyone who would try and pursue you. The area is quite unremarkable, all things considered. The hills nearby could serve as a good hiding spot, but staying clear of them means that you're walking through open land. Still, no one seems to follow you too quickly, if at all. And as the sun begins to rise in the distance, you all feel weary.
Okay. Is there any places we could potentially hide? Ditches, small caves, things like that?
Give me a perception or survival check. Alright. You guys are easily able to find a position from here as the light comes about that you can hide in.
Okay. Let's maybe take the time to get a full rest in. We can still rotate watch, get our full rest, and continue on at night. Sound good? Do you want to use the regular watch rotation?
Sure.
Alrighty. Who's going first?
Semi-decent roll.
Hey, this time you didn't roll on that one. It's good.
I got a 20 on the important roll. So
Exactly. Alright. So you guys haven't moved that far. We are go. Cool. During your watch, nothing seems to happen. The sun begins to rise and shines in your eyes. You know it's going to be hard to get to sleep, but you've done similar things back home. The sun sets much earlier and rises much later here in Anvisalia. Alright. Then your watch goes by. Who's up next? Alright. Nvidia and Boulder. You keep an eye out over the surrounding area. You guys are far enough away from the path that it doesn't seem like there's anything too important going on. No one seems to be coming down this way, looking for you or the like. For the time being, your watch passes uneventfully.
Yeah. Now let's wake up Coronis and Athos.
Alrighty. Like everyone before, your watch seems to go by pretty quietly. It's getting to about midday now. Your stomach's a bit grumbly, considering the strange sleep cycles that you're trying to go through, but you're able to endure perfectly fine. Alrighty. Next up. Alright, Cattell. It's hitting early afternoon, and it is certainly a struggle to wake up from your sleep. It's far, well, too bright for anything else. It's still a good temperature. Thank goodness Anvisalia is a cold country, or sleeping during the middle of the day would be a pain. But you get up, and like the others, your watch passes uneventfully. It seems you are far enough away to avoid any potential danger for the time being. Alrighty. The next day comes about. Oh, and good news. It has officially been 1 week now.
Yay.
Avos has attuned to the ring. So, no longer feel that those stomach grumblies go away. And as the usual rules apply, you only need 2 hours of sleep each night. You can choose to sleep for more.
Oh wow.
Ring of Sustenance is a pretty good item. It's just that 1 week of wait time that's kind of annoying. Alright, so for the next day's travel, heading straight to the location? Or travel?
Is there like a river nearby somewhere?
Not on this side, no. Anafaris gets most of its water from the north, and there are no other small settlements by riversides or lakes or whatnot.
Okay, I'm just thinking of ways. Maybe we could spend a little bit of our morning going back up the way we came and just hiding some of our tracks as we went off of the trail.
Oh, good. If need be, you do know that Create Water is a cantrip that can be used.
That's true. Not all of us have Create Water, though.
Well, no. Wait, is Create Water an Inquisitor cantrip? I don't even remember.
It's not one that I have prepared because I only get 6. So
Alright, you'll know. My apologies.
I have it prepared.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, do you want to wash away some of our tracks until we get to the road so it looks like our tracks disappear?
Sure.
Cool.
So you're going to be backtracking a bit to cover up where you've been?
Yeah. And then, is it a cantrip for you?
Yep.
I hate to be the one to ask this of you, but do you, maybe for at least a little while, otherwise it'll look a little too obvious, do you want to cast that behind us as we go to cover up our tracks?
Sure, we're on the as long as we're on the cart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can sit at the back of the cart and do that.
Cool. Alright. We'll do that, and then maybe, at least for like a little while, eventually it won't really matter, and we won't want to create a trail of water instead. That would just look weird.
It'll look a bit strange, yeah.
So, yeah, maybe just for a little bit while we're getting out of here, and then we can stop. Alright. And then, yeah, let's head back towards the area where Wuxian makes her pickups.
Alrighty. You guys spend some time covering tracks. And you then move along. And you eventually reach what seems to be an unremarkable clearing amongst a little bit of greenery, forests and bush surrounding you. This small section does seem to have seen use. Anyone who wants to can give me a perception or survival check for various things. So as you look around, this area definitely has seen some use. You can't hear anybody in this area for the time being, but you can definitely tell that there are points in this place. The trees, they seem to be very sturdy, look like they'd been climbed in the past, so maybe it was an ambush point or something similar. Whoever has been using this has been prepared for whatever actions have been to come. But no one is here. You do know that this cart was stolen, so maybe no one's expecting you.
Do we want to maybe wait for a little while? Because, I mean, I assume it's towards the end of the day, yeah?
Yeah. You guys would have been leaving at about 3 in the afternoon. So, it will have been from there to there with the cart and the water covering. It'll definitely be after sunset.
Okay. Do we want to just hang out for a little bit then?
Sure.
Alright.
Alright.
I mean, you never know. Maybe they have a scout. Let's just look as unassuming as possible. Try not to look super threatening. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Nothing happened.
Are you going to disguise yourself as a race that isn't tiefling?
Well, I mean, not beyond me. I'm armed with up to the teeth. I mean, there's also Athos in this full plate armor, and then 2 tigers with us. And well, we can tell you probably look the least threatening at the very least.
Thank you.
And
What matters is that you took it as a compliment. Anyway. So if that's the case, you guys are going to chill out there for a while. Are you going to make a camp here?
I think we might as well. Trying to bring a little bit of attention to ourselves isn't a bad idea at this point. We're pretty sure we didn't bring a tail with us, yeah?
You're fairly certain no one's followed you.
Okay. In that case, actually bringing attention to us may be the right idea.
Well, that one is down to you guys.
I'm fine with making camp.
Okay.
Lynn will probably go like chill in the shadows a little bit, but
I think this is one of the few times I've said it, but let's start a fire.
Oh no, we're not cold camping?
I think for once, especially since we may want to draw a little bit of attention to ourselves, let's actually start a fire.
there were all sorts of weird things today.
I know, right?
Midnight.
This is
Launching
very
a
unlike
fireball
us.
in the middle of the city. I mean,
Very unlike us.
Oh, goodness. Alrighty. And we'll just throw you there for good measure. Lynn hides in the shadows like the edgy rogue she always wanted to be.
and hide in the shadows because she's feeling super guilty right now.
How guilty does Tiger Lynn look?
I mean, she stayed in tiger form all day and all night, so she doesn't have to talk to people.
Yeah, she hasn't said a word.
She's been just like morose nods.
Really, no need to feel guilty at all.
well, you guys are starting a fire. You can actually cook something.
Yeah, let's do it. Anybody know any good recipes? What do you have on us?
I have some alcohol.
That's a good start.
Master has a wonderful chicken soup recipe. He is unfortunately terrible at cooking it, but it is a wonderful recipe nonetheless.
Do we have any chickens available to us?
Oh goodness, no.
Okay. Balder, do you think you can catch us some birds?
Balder looks at Coronis.
Shouldn't have said it. Shouldn't have said it.
I don't know if I'm great at cooking, but I can make us some tea.
Everyone good for some tea?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Always.
Alright. Alright. Then you begin... Sorry, not Lynn. You can tell. You begin to make some tea up. How much are you making?
I'm just taking the Tengu drinking jug and just commanding it to make tea.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not doing the work.
It's a good joke. It heats my drinks for me. Yep, everyone gets some tea. Athos decides to throw alcohol in his. Dwarves it up. Alrighty. Everyone is drinking some tea. Lynn is remaining off in the corner. What is the plan? No one seems to be approaching you guys just yet.
I mean, it is a bit early, that's fair. Sorry, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, everyone's just kind of hanging out.
Would seem so.
Okay.
If we're just hanging out in this little field forest patch area, can I just like scavenge and see if there's any like crafting ingredients or plants or anything around?
Oh yeah, sure. You can always have a look around. That'll be a survival.
Do you want some help?
Well, also wander over and offer to help. Not like, she needs it anymore, but...
Alright. Lynn, you find some food. A few critters that you're able to just kind of tiger nom and bring back if people want some dinner for the evening. And idiot, you find some various herbs in the area that you think look vaguely familiar.
I couldn't tell if these are weeds or something necessary, but just in case, Cattell.
Tell you look over them. You can give me knowledge, nature, or craft alchemy. Take your pick.
I could have done knowledge, nature.
You recognize this because you've used it before. This is flay leaf.
Oh yeah. Very combustible, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, this was the one that's basically fantasy pot.
Is this what we burned down the house with?
Yep.
I
Well,
remember that.
the troll that one went down with the troll styptic because that stuff is hyper flammable. Like troll, it's basically that stuff's like troll oil, basically. But yes, this is the plant that you can burn for a very weighty euphoria.
Gotcha.
You get about 3 doses worth of that roll.
Okay.
Where is it? There we go.
Lynn, do you want me to cook any of that stuff that you caught? The rabbit and the bird and the squirrel?
If you'd like to.
It's just up to you if that would be, something you'd want.
I mean, if people need food, it would probably be best to eat it in a way that's most pleasing for them.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. I'm not great as a cook, but I, can put things on a stick and put them in the fire.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
Alright. You put things on a stick and then put them in the fire?
Yep.
Alright, cool.
Wait, Cronus, you had a recipe. Could we substitute the chicken for, what do we have? Squirrel, rabbit, and this looks like a small bird? Maybe a quail?
How much allspice do you have?
I don't think we have any allspice.
I'm afraid the recipe requires a pound of allspice per pound of meat.
A pound?
And don't forget the noodles.
I think NVIDIA and Cattell said that the same time.
It is quite a rich flavor.
Does it taste purely of salt?
More allspice, but I suppose salt is the main ingredient, yes.
Well, I do not have a pound of allspice. So we'll just do this rotisserie style, I suppose.
Alrighty. You guys go ahead and cook up the food. Everybody's around the campfire if they want to be. But
And please join us as well.
That's there.
Lynn is distancing herself slightly.
It's COVID time, you know?
Yeah, we don't want to get diseases. Don't you remember Athos when he got sick?
Didn't Athos get over that though?
Yeah, he did.
I got better.
Yeah. I didn't tell anybody about it, but I got better.
So, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for causing that fireball.
I mean, I thought it was a good distraction, personally.
Lid would keep a much straighter face during that, just for the record. I don't know, just... You guys know that I'm sympathetic towards her, so... It just felt like the right thing to do. There was so much going on, and I wanted to make sure she got out safely.
I mean, it makes sense, and quite honestly, she's looking like the better of two options at the moment. So, I think really what we're doing is we're just maybe confirming that she is what she says she is. If that makes sense.
But hopefully nobody recognized me because I was wearing my mask when I went up, and then I was Tiger when I left, so nobody seemed to notice.
You were a little far away too, and blocked out by. I mean, I could hardly see you. I don't even know if I could see you, even from my perspective. But I think we're fine. No one's tailing us, which means the mayor's either in the dark or still believes what we were telling him, which would be really good because we could pull some of his men out of the area, and then potentially, if we do end up liking what Wuxian's about, then we have a well, they have a little bit of an easier path and less fighting.
Yeah.
Anything from anybody else? A little campfire talk?
I didn't really get a chance to mention it before, Lynn, but thank you for the present. Very much appreciated.
They really are.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Indeed, very much appreciated.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess it's been enough time that I can pass over that +1 to the glaive, right?
Oh yeah, you can do that at the start of each day.
Cool.
You could have done that on the first day you got it if you really wanted to.
I was thinking that I would, but then I never said that I did. So.
It's fine.
Okay, so Cattell is going to lean over to Lynn. Hey, turn your button off. She's gonna lean over to Lynn and kind of like eye her ears. Like she's gonna like look at them really closely and like kind of invade Lynn's personal space. And she's trying to see if her own ears are pierced and like what kind of earrings she's wearing.
Lynn has all sorts of bling. It might not be in her picture, but yes, she has, I'd say probably at least 3 piercings on each ear.
Cool.
I've never thought about it, so...
Yeah. She is got some half-elf blood in her because she's got them long ears, which is even more to pierce.
And something that I've never mentioned before because I didn't really have a backstory point to it, but I don't know if you've noticed in her picture, she has like kind of like markings on her face, but those are actually like light tattoos. I just kind of ignored their existence before, but now they have backstory meaning, so I can say that they exist.
Hey, Lynn. I haven't brought this up because I haven't wanted to invade your personal space, but you have these really cool tattoos.
Subtle.
But I haven't fleshed this out enough, but Lynn is gonna kind of like look down at her hands and just kind of like play with her fingers awkwardly because she doesn't really know how to phrase it. But before I met you guys, so I told you that my mom basically sent me out on a mission to try to heal the issues back home, and so I left, and she sent me with someone to guard me, and then one of her advisors, and one of my friends, and one of my friends, and he was a, what is it, Sindori?
Simdorian.
Simdorian elf, and tattoos are a very important part of their culture. They use them to show their accomplishments and things like that. And so I got some for him, and while we were on the road together, we were ambushed. And my bodyguard essentially was killed. And when he was killed, my party just completely fell apart. I thought that they were loyal to me and to my mother and to everything that we stood for, but my mother's advisor just left. She went back home. She didn't care what I did. And my friends, they also just left. They didn't come with me. And my mission at that time was really important to me. I had to do right by my mother. And over the past few weeks and months, I've realized I really don't have to. I mean, I don't know if I want to go back to that life anymore. That's not my purpose anymore. So, TLDR, my boyfriend tattooed me. That's all I meant to say.
I mean, that's terrible. I'm sorry that you got left alone like that.
That's why I have so many issues with you guys. Like, I mean, I feel like I really screwed up back there on the fireball, and that's why I kind of just not talked to you for a little while, because I'm used to people just kind of abandoning me really quickly, and I'm really scared that that's gonna happen again. I don't know why I told you that.
I'm gonna look at Cattell and Athos. I think at this point, abandoning you is the last thing that we have thought about. Especially since I don't think any of us thought anything of the fireball lance thing. Did anybody have a problem with the fireball lance thing?
No.
I didn't have a problem with the fireball lance thing.
No. Well,
I was impressed that you could bring out a fireball.
Kind of cool, actually.
I'll try to do it more often. Well, thank you.
Lynn, can you do me a favor? Roll me a bluff check.
Oh no.
For what?
A bluff check, just in general. All right.
Oh man.
There's definitely a blush on Lynn's face
At what point?
at the admission that I think the words would have been abandoning you is the last thing we would think of doing.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. I thought it was more like the story we had to worry about.
I was like, that was entirely true.
It's
Unless I screwed up some lore somewhere.
oh no. It's just the struggling to hide your emotions part of it all. Oh goodness.
Well, I understand how hard it is to be away from people that you love, and well, luckily I've never been abandoned by the people I love. I understand what it's like to be parted, sometimes forcibly, probably. So, I'm sorry that you've had to go through that.
Alrighty. Well, by now in the evening, following the story, it's definitely getting late. All of you begin to feel a bit tired, and you think it's about time for rest and watches to begin.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. Unless if there's any closing things. If not, I believe we will call the session there on that somber note. Alrighty. I hope everyone enjoyed that.
It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of things happened. Plenty of depression involved, yes. And now Lynn gets to emotionally struggle for another week.
I think she's actually gonna do okay now. She's been struggling so much.
Poor girl.
I feel bad.
So much emotional trauma. How could these people be genuine? That's illegal.
Getting that 10 on that one roll.
Yep.
Not believing that somebody was being serious about buying you. God.
Don't worry, it's at least a 15 now.
guys.
Oh yeah, you're all good. Hey, work calls, it happens. Alrighty. Well, hope you all enjoyed yourself, and next week we should finally get to the proper meeting with Wuxian and all that entails.
Woo woo.
Alrighty. Hope everyone had a good time, and I'll see you all next week.
See you next week.
Alright.
See you then.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
And to anyone who tuned in for the stream, hope you enjoyed yourselves. Alright. Bye-bye.